Hey, what's up, fam? Just pulling up the stream, getting everything ready. Just let me send out a couple links and see if things can get started. See how things go this week. See if it all unfolds into a nice, calm, and I'd say friendly stream. I don't know. How the fuck should I know? It's as time will tell, I guess. We will figure things out. Just 1 second. 1 second, please. Let me just grab my link and throw it around a couple places. See if it actually goes the way that I would prefer it to. So 1 second, post it in a couple areas, and then get the conversations going. 1 second. Almost done sending out links. Just a second. I got like two more places I gotta post it. And then it should be good. Done. Second is the last one. All right. Yeah. Let me pull things together and see how everything's going down in the stream. How's it going, anybody? Anybody who's here so far? How's it be? Hello, sup, Leal. Hello, Alex G. McFly. You're right. How are you guys? How's everybody going today? How are things moving along with you guys? I know things have been swell for me. Things have been doing all right, making sure everything has been it's been running smoothly and as smoothly as I can really get. And I was wondering if anybody else has checked out any new chapters within the last week. We've had a lot of good ones. I picked up a little bit more for manga. Nothing crazy, but I picked up a couple of things. I think should be I'd be comfortable with, trying to recommending. I picked up some series called Rise Comica, I think it's pronounced, which is actually really good, and I'll get to that. It's about like war between mythologies, which I think is pretty badass. It's like a God of War almost manga, and I thought that was really neat of it. I thought that was a pretty good aspect. Something Minty, you read manga? Shut up. I know you do. I know all you do is talk about Hunter x Hunter. I'm actually a master of Minty lore, so I know for a fact. You know a fair amount of manga as well. Berserk is good stuff. Has anybody picked up anything new? Any new series they'd wanna mention? That's what I was talking about. That series that I found called or it was like Rise Comica. It's entertaining. I would definitely recommend it. They actually have a fight kind of set up at one point, and it's freaking what's up, Larry Jones? It's Thor and Susanoo, the fucking Norse god of thunder, and the Japanese god of war. I mean, that's a badass kind of setup right there. It's not much of a beat around the bush uh, kind of setup. Those guys aren't gonna fuck around, and it was pretty good. I really, yeah, Radiant's good. I didn't know you've been reading Radiant, Lidl. You didn't tell me that. Radiant's a solid series. It's weird because the anime is now this means that the first chapter is being cut up into three different episodes. I don't know if I've ever seen a series happen like that before without there being like a thick like Soul Eater. I believe Soul Eater's first chapter was all the first episode. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's like 100 and or first chapter's first three episodes. That's like 170 chapter pages, and I think Radiance was like 80, not that much bigger than a normal manga's first chapter. Usually they're, from what I've seen, they're around like somewhere between like 50 and somewhere between like 50, 60 to, like 80 is 70 seems or 50 seems kind of small, but 60s to 80s is kind of seem to be the the right area for it. Yeah, the fact that Kevin Kasich, I don't know how to pronounce your name, dude. It's from a series called it's like Ray's Comic. I'm pretty sure it's how it's pronounced. It's about a war between different mythologies, which is pretty cool. The main guy is from the Japanese mythos, and then the main chick is from the Norse mythos. I've only got, I think, 17 chapters in, but they've only shown Japan and Norse mythology, but they've directly on. But when someone was talking about like telling the main character, like, there's other god realms, and it showed like Egypt and Hindu and I think there was like Chinese and like Celtic. There was a bunch of really cool ones. I really like Egyptian. Egyptian's probably my favorite. I think Egyptian lore is just fucking super cool. Or Egyptian mythos. I really like a lot of people like, yeah, like freaking Sobek, Ra, Horus, Set, Anubis. Like, they got a bunch of really cool people. I'm not gonna be able to like sit here and name all of them, but it's just the one I find the most interesting. I don't know. I've always thought that was pretty freaking cool. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask manga. I have not. Is it How accurate is it to the game? Is it like spot on, or is it like kind of take it in the fact that that was a dark game and make it even crazier? If they don't have Martian gods, why would that? That'd be really. No, well, they have. I don't think they'd have Martian gods. I don't think the Martian mythos. I don't think they have the Martian mythos. Maybe you can send them a letter, and when they expand into space at some point, like all these different series seem to end up doing, they can give you a call and say, Minty, we want you on the team. In fact, Minty, freshest guy on TMF, freshest motherfucker. He can come by and fix everything. A lot of, not very. Oh, there's like what kind of crazy stuff? How much comparison is Skulk in there? I need to finish that game. I always start up Majora's Mask and then I just actually no, I'm thinking of Ocarina of Time. I need to finish Majora's Mask. I'll buy it at some point. Like I played it a long time ago, and I don't know why I never just bought it again for the DS. I think it's because I bought like a bunch of games before it came out, and some of them I still haven't finished. But I'll give it an ending eventually. Because I always really liked Skull Kid's design. I always thought Skull Kid looked really cool. I just really like the little I like the pattern on the mask. I think it just looks super badass. It's not accurate. I don't know. One day I'll finish Majora's. What's up, Andres? Yeah, I wanna play it though, Kevin. It's one of those games. Like I'm not a huge Zelda guy. Like, I always thought Zelda was cool, but I've enjoyed the games. I never get too hyped for them, but I still enjoy them if I end up playing them. But for some reason I've never been like thick when it comes to Zelda games. Like, new Kirby game comes out, I'll fucking jump right on a Kirby game, no problem. But I know something about it I just was never super on, but I was always it was always enough that I would definitely check it out if if the time arose for it. Like, hey, I don't know what to play right now. This game's looking pretty good. I don't think I was ever one of those guys that was like, Zelda game, I can't wait one day. Like, I still haven't played Breath of the Wild. I got to get to that game at some point. I know a lot of people that's like always hyped up as like one of the best fucking games. People seem to really like Breath of the Wild. I don't know. I should probably get to it one day, probably. Eventually along the path of that game. Yeah, I saw the Roz mercenary. It looks good. I look forward to this chapter. I From what I can tell from this next Eden Zero chapter is Lavilia, or however I pronounce her name. She is a villain, and I think that she's part of some criminal family because that guy at the end is her brother, and he looks like a frickin' space ninja. That dude looks really cool. I really like that guy's design. I look forward to seeing what exactly Mashima does with that dude's character. Dude looks like a badass. He's, like I said, he looks like a space ninja. I like the Rave Master reference they had in it. I thought that was pretty neat with the whole 3713. the code for Ellie. I thought that was cool. It's been a while since he's done a Rave Master reference, but I think it's because he mostly did Rave Master references in Fairy Tale, so now he was able to do Fairy Tale references. But I think he just really wanted to do a Rave Master reference for this. I thought it was a pretty interesting, good idea. I don't know if anybody else caught that. I thought that was pretty sweet. I forgot to mention it in my freaking video I did on the Raws. I really wish I remembered that, but whatever. I'm hoping the chapter will be out by like translated within the day. Same thing with Fairy Tale. I'm interested in what Fairy Tale is doing right now because the Dragon Eaters because since the start of the series, every Dragon Slayer type has had at least one special perk to it. Something special about it, which is weird though because it looks like the Corpse Dragon Slayer, similar to the Shadow Dragon Slayer, also has intangibility, but his looks kind of better. I'm wondering what the difference is. I'm guessing because it's with the Shadow Dragon, we saw inside, we saw kind of inside of the Shadow with when Sting and Rogue were fighting Larcade. We saw it's kind of like another dimension. I think that could be the thing that kind of differentiates it, kind of turns it into its own thing, is the fact that one is like intangibility and one is like almost like sitting in a fucking in your own small dimension, or I guess it wouldn't even be small because it'd be like just the idea of the shadows themselves. I think that's pretty, it's always been a pretty neat kind of thing that exists within the possibility of some of the characters there, and I look forward to what exactly we'll find out because out of all of them, I think design wise, I like what Mad Mole looks like, but I really like the fact there's a dude who's a fucking corpse dragon slayer. That just in all ways sounds really badass. Just to say that sounds like super intense. Just the idea, like, yeah, this guy's a fire dragon slayer. This guy's iron. This guy's lightning. This guy's corpse. He's a dragon slayer of the undead. Like that's just a freaking really cool title, and I'm really looking forward to what exactly kind of that really kind of pertains to in the large scale of what is with powers. I was hoping to him to see like his kind of like his standard attack. Everyone's got like their base. Natsu's got his punch. Gadgeel's he's got like the little iron like pole version of a punch. I want this guy to have like he goes for an attack and it's like a giant skeletal claw or something like really cool looking like that. Kind of like was it Sasuke and like when he had the Susanoo skeleton, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm not gonna pretend like I can fucking 100% like accurately remember specifics of Naruto, but I'm hoping I do. I remember he had like the skeleton of it, and I always thought that was one of the cooler parts about Old Sauce is just him pulling that out. I thought that was pretty neat. Just a badass looking aspect of his power. Always kind of brought in one of those things where it's like it looks kind of edgy, but at the same time it's like a really interesting, cool edgy. That's what I like about if you've checked out Memesis, which is a series that I keep recommending that and Mary Grave, and I really hope I can get some people to further check it out. Is the one of the recent villains of Memesis. He's like a super edgy looking dude, but he looks really cool. Devaloon Loon, that dude just looks awesome. Like these are just like all black and fucking carrying around heads and got a giant like pitched black sword. Just nothing about this guy seems chill at all, but he just looks so cool, and I like that about his design. I like it when they're like, yeah, we're going full fucking deviant arts like edge lord style here. No regrets. And it's like, okay, fantastic. Get to it. Let's see where things go. Nemesis is definitely a series that I really want people to check out because it's entertaining on multiple ways, and I like that about it. It's got good action, it's got good characters, it's got its fan service, but at the same time it takes itself seriously at the right time, and then jokes around also at the right time. That's one of the things about the series I think is done very well in regards to in regards to Nemesis. And I think a lot of the people that like a lot of the manga that I enjoy would like it. You don't go into a chapter and leave it like nothing like worth my time happened. Even when there's nothing like a big plot point, something entertaining enough happened, something funny, some really good art panel. Like the dude does really cool looking art too. Like I was talking about this like in my last video of it, there was or not my last. Actually, was it my last video? I don't remember when they were fighting Devaloon, there's like them showing like the palace where he's at. His boss level platform just looks so cool. It was just like this big castle with a giant black hand coming out of it, and within that you get the platform being held by the hand. I've been rambling. Hey, I haven't checked the comments a minute. Let me scroll over and peer on the comments really quick. I went off on a tangent. See, that's what I was talking about. I've talked about in my streams. Like, I'll get distracted and just keep talking. Yeah, Lavilia, I always something about her just kind of seemed off. I don't know. She was a bully. Rave Master. So the thing, I'm gonna go off on a small tangent. The thing about Rave Master is people don't know is Hiroshima was really upset when he ended Rave Master because there was nothing he could really do to continue the series if he wanted to, and that's what we kind of got with Fairy Tail. Is we had Warred talk about that there were people off the continent that were much stronger than him. He didn't say what continent. He didn't say specifically Albereth. He just said there were people off the continent way stronger than him. They also we got stuff about a method from Irene, clearly, that you could hide the dragon smell so people like Acnologia couldn't just smell you and find you. We got stuff talk about dragon gods. We didn't know if that was because August said it, but then we had God Serena say there's no dragon gods. So we don't even know which of those is more accurate. They left it kind of ambiguous. There's a bunch of stuff that was left up in the air that if Hiroshima wanted to do a sequel, he could, and that's what happened, and that's what we're getting right now. And the stuff with the whole white and black angels. Like I said, there's stuff he sets up that I think is good that he doesn't have to do because he leaves it a little bit vague, and then he's like, oh, cool, let me get to it. Let me see what's going on. Are you enjoying my Hime and Pan? I looked at Pandora Hearts. I don't have nothing about Pandora Hearts yet. I'm not very far. I'm only like the first chapter, but I've been watching my Hime. It's pretty good so far. I still really like that part in the first episode where that girl cuts the ship in half, and I really like how she like spins her sword on the ground and creates all the sparks. I think that's a really cool kind of like character trait. Just like it just seems to be a pretty unique aspect to her fighting style. I think that's really cool when you add in something that's very distinctive of a character like that. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. What did Madmal do to the water? I don't really know. I don't really understand that. Let me go look at that really quick and see if I can translate that because I didn't really take much note of that. I just kind of looked at it and was like, what is he doing? It looks like he's saying armor dragon something. So it looks like he's either just talking in general or he's saying an armor dragon attack. Let me see if I can make that out really quick while I read the next one. One second. Okay, let me keep scrolling. Uh, it's just that he just harden it? Is that what you're getting at? I don't know. It looks like something like that. He just maybe like condensed it into like a solid. I don't know. We'll find out soon. Do you think that Eden Zero will the ether destruction device from the one shot? Maybe that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be a pretty interesting aspect to add into it. There's always stuff that I want to see get carried over into stuff. Wait, one shot. Yeah, let me see. When did a one shot come out? I don't know if I've seen the one shot yet. I'd have to double check. Where did you read the one shot? Is it in the first volume? Because I don't know if I've seen that yet. Actually, what's up, Maverick? How's it going? Anything else? Let's see. It's just me or Noelle using Mana Zone. Or I don't think it's Mana Zone because it seems like it's more of specifically the mana in her armor that she's using. Because if it was Mana Zone, she could have just used her spear and it would have reformed behind the elf and attacked him anyway. I don't think it was. I don't think it was. Yeah, the space sword is pretty cool. I still remember that part. I don't. I'd have to. Yeah, I'll relook at it, Andres. Don't worry. And then yeah, I don't know if I've read the one shot for Eden Zero. I'd have to look at it. If you have a link, I'd be pretty pleased if you could, send one my way. I definitely want to see the one shot. If so, I don't know if I don't even know if I've seen pictures of it actually. I know I've seen like the little extra one, but I've not seen the one shot yet. Has anybody else been watching the glorious uproar that has been centered around the Goblin Slayer anime and how many people are just getting rustled as hell by it? How many people are just getting completely shaken up by the fact that Goblin Slayer exists, which is glorious. I'm just so happy with this because I think Goblin Slayer is really entertaining. I like a lot of the aspects of the story, but like some people just are so triggered by it, it's ridiculous. Like why I don't get why some people are so salty about it. There's way more graphic series out there. Why are they getting so beat up by Goblin Slayer? Like Goblin Slayer is cool. It's entertaining. I like it. I definitely would say it's a I believe it's going to be the series of the season. I think it's going to be the big hotness of this season, potentially of the year for Goblin Slayer, just because of how much different that is in a lot of ways to other series, and the fact that the dude is completely just 100% merciless. He does not show mercy of any kind to goblins, like I was saying, and I think that's one of those things that you wouldn't really get from a lot of other series. Is I think a lot of main characters would be like, let's maybe that we can spare the goblins and they could be our figure out a way to coexist. Goblins like, nah, that's not gonna happen, and they just continues this onslaught, and it's such a it's such a the show itself is it's not like it's hey deep plot dot like Berserk is also on top of being like intense and like crazy. It's also very like has a lot of deeply written parts. Goblin Slayer has a lot of good. I wouldn't say story wise deep, but character depth behind the Goblin Slayer himself is pretty well written. It's just an all around fun and different series, and that's the thing I think about it that's really good. Well, I don't know, Andres. There's way worse stuff out there than Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer's not even that bad. Nishikaze no Taiyo. Oh, that's what you're talking about? Oh yeah. What are you talking about? For something else. Russell Dim Jimmies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, there's hentai that are 10 times worse than Goblin Slayer. Like Berserk. I don't know what Jigo Karaku is, Yoshi, but I do read Jagan. I'm a couple chapters behind it. The goblins from that slime show. Well, those are two different types of goblins. Those are much different goblins than those goblins that the Goblin Slayer runs into. He probably would kill them. He would probably just say fuck it and slaughter them, and then rip to the goblinas. They wouldn't know what to do at that point. You're not gonna. It's a bad idea to fight the Goblin Slayer. You're not gonna have a good day. You're gonna have a rough time of it. Essentially, is what I'm telling you. The Goblin Slayer doesn't like to be fucked around with. I really look forward to more Goblin Slayer, and I can't wait to see more people just completely riled up over. Like I don't get how they get so riled up. It's crazy. There's some people I saw that. What? Actually, no, I don't want to name drop specific other YouTubers, even though I'm just a wee lad. I've got but a channel that's nicely sized for me. I don't want to fuck with people, especially uh, unless people want me to. I don't think anyone wants to hear. Actually, I don't know. What's that YouTuber Gigook? I was just gonna say like I saw him like hating on Goblin Slayer. That's a dude who, like he likes like fucking like 40% of the stuff he likes is just hentai anime, like just like fan service. Like what the hell? How can you hate on Goblin Slayer when you're like, ugh? Hyped World Trigger is back. Maybe I'll check. I'm still thinking about checking it out because now that's it's coming back. I thought it ended. I thought it was like a one of the series that was like super short and maybe like had a good boom in Shonen Jump and then I don't know faded away. If it comes back, so what was the reason that it went on hiatus? Was the writer sick or something? I don't know a whole lot about World Trigger. I just know that the main character is that some kid who looks like a marshmallow. That's all I know. That's all I know about it. What's the situation about it, Mercenary? Oh, isn't it going to a monthly though? Sup, Duke? Yeah, that dude, Duke knows. You saw that. I don't like that Giga guy. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't really want to talk shit because I don't think there's a lot of a point. Dude's got his opinions. I don't agree with them. There's no reason for me to talk shit at him on a level beyond my responses to some of his anime and manga opinions. Like I bet I was annoyed back when that dude was like, I don't like. I watched the first episode of Black Clover and I think the whole series sucks. I'm not gonna even look to see if the manga's different. I'm not gonna give anything an attempt. I don't like it. And then he like also insulted Fairy Tail at the same time. And then he goes on to hype up UQ Holders anime, which was lackluster. And then the reason he hyped it up was because of it reminded him the fact that Najima was a thing, which was his first fan service harem manga. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? You're over here talking shit, and you're hype for your serious hype coming in right now is because it reminds you of like the boners you used to get when you were 13. Come on, dude. I didn't agree with that dude's what that dude had to say at all. I mean, he's entitled to have his own opinion, whatever. I just I just found him to be a bit wacky. I just found what he was saying to be a bit of a goof. I don't know. Whatever, whatever. Oh man, health issues, that sucks. I picked up World Trigger shortly after it came out. Like I think it was like a couple chapters in, and I don't know, I wasn't too into it. Maybe I'll give it another try if it comes back. It's gonna be a monthly though. That's why I'm kind of like I don't know, because usually when stuff gets comes back and turns into monthlies, it's not the best. Not the best turnout. I mean, look at poor D Gray Man. D Gray Man, and then UQ Holder. D Gray Man is never gonna end. I feel bad for any fans. The what's her name? I don't know the author's name. She just I don't know if she's sick or she's busy or what's going on. She's doesn't look like that's gonna happen. At least I'm pretty sure D Gray Man's written by a chick, but I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't even watch Giguk's full video, Duke. It was just I don't know. I just I don't like I don't like how the guy goes about kind of portraying a lot of the stuff he does. I think a lot of the time he does it for like clickbait. I don't know though. I don't know watch enough of his content to really determine a lot of what he says. I only pretty much watched his like winter anime in a nutshell. Like I watched some of those because some of them were kind of funny, but then they kind of got annoying, and then him just talking shit like that, I was just like, okay, whatever. Fucking, I ain't about this. Ducked out of there. Haven't really thought about resubbing. Not gonna. No, I don't have a reason to. It's just I don't like his content. Obviously, people like his content. Dude's got like a 1.5 million subs or something. So I don't think he gives a shit if I like him or not. Just whatever. Hmm. Let me see. Is it what else people saying? I thought it was an interesting way for Noelle to end the battle that involves Sea Dragon Sword that was sent through the roof. Yeah, it's just it was a good example, it's a good showing of the fact that her Valkyrie dress is a lot more powerful than her Sea Dragon roar, and I thought that kind of made it a little bit of a nod in that aspect of her character as well as the this step in growth that she's obtained. I thought that was pretty neat of Noelle. I thought that was nice for her. The picture from this Andres is from a series called Ray's Kamika, I think it's how it's pronounced. It's a series about warring realms of mythos. The main character is a reincarnation of a Japanese god, and the main chick is a reincarnation of a Norse god, and they haven't shown him yet, but they've like done like a foreshadow panel when someone was like, there's other god mythos realms, and there was like Celtic and Hindu and Egyptian. They haven't officially appeared. It was just someone talking about them. Obviously, like I said earlier, I'm looking forward to Egyptian the most, because like when I picked up the series, it just kind of made me think it was like Bleach, and then I was like, I wish they would explore other mythos, and same thing that Bleach always bothered me with, that it looks like we're fixing now, is they never really did anything outside of Japan, but it looks like that's if they do a continuation of Burn the Witch, that won't be the case anymore, and we'll get more world stuff. Because obviously, if you've read Burn the Witch, the the European side of things, instead of hollows, they're dragons, and I think they look way weirder than hollows. Like they're way wackier. And I like that aspect of Burn the Witch, and I hope it gets a sequel. I hope that there's either a expansion like Burn the Witch, or there is a sequel about, like Ichigo and Ruki as kids. Because I like that all these series are all getting kind of like sequels. I like that they're expanding. I like Boruto. I, I like the manga. I haven't watched a lot of the anime. I like the idea of it, even though Dragon Ball Super, I'm not a fan of it. I like that they're expanding. I don't think they could really do anything with One Piece unless like they took the same kind of thing and then maybe made a series about the Marines. I don't know. I don't think One Piece could. I think they've made it too centered around Luffy and one real goal with One Piece itself. But I could easily be wrong. I might not be able to uh, fully determine the whole situation. I look forward to the next couple chapters of Fairy Tail for sure. The fight matchups got weird, so I thought it was gonna be Natsu and Mercifovia versus Scarion, and then Gray and Urza versus Kyria, and then Wendy and Lucy and I think what was her name, Camille, against Mad Mole. But that's not even close to the case. Right now we're getting Natsu versus Mad Mole, Gray versus Scarion, and then Mercifovia, Urza, Lucy, and I assume Wendy against uh, Kyria. That was kind of weird. It's so many people against one target. Just kind of seemed surprising. It seemed like a bit out of there. Yeah, that they're not actually. Yeah, I know, Andres. They're actually dragons. They said that they're pretty much like they described them essentially that they and hollows are the same thing. It's just they the environment it looks like they grow up in, and probably like shit to do with souls and stuff affects what they end up becoming. I'm guessing, or maybe there's maybe the dragons are animal souls that end up becoming the equivalent of hollows. I don't know. It's gonna be something that's gonna be fun to explore if the series ends up getting a sequel. If it gets serialized, I'm hoping that, and Build King gets serialized, or something pertaining to the Toriko world. I don't know how many of you read Toriko, but I'm an advent fan of Toriko. I really like the manga, and it was a shame the anime sucked, but at least the manga got to end on a good note, but at the same time, it was obvious that there was area that the author wanted to continue to explore, and I always thought that was a shame about the series, because if you read the series, you could tell that he's got a lot of passion, a lot of heart and energy the whole time, and there's not a lot of a slowdown for him, putting in the effort, and that's one of the things I really liked about him. I don't know if you've read Build King. What do you think of how they brought Acknowledging that? I thought it was a little bit weird that they showed him like that. I think there should have maybe been instead maybe a little bit of a not showing him but showing that cave, and just maybe showing like, I don't know, a little bit of hinting, and then in a couple episodes when we see Acnologia and Zareth, I think that'll be pretty neat. And that's something I really look forward to in the anime kind of happening. I wonder what exactly this is going to be altered in the anime, because I know Hiroshima wants to change some things up. He wants to fix some things, fix some issues that he had. I don't know what issues that he had though, and I think it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a potential eye opener of what exactly was his idea and what was probably changed by an editor, where somebody else's hands got in on his art and his story and shifted it into a different degree that he wasn't planning. So I know there were things he wanted to do they got altered when Fairy Tail was kind of in its later days and some of the arcs as well. And I always thought that was it, I don't know if we would really know if it could have been disappointing or not. I think the fight, the Laxus and the Laxus and Tempesta fight, Tempest or whatever you want to call him, in the anime was his original idea, and then he had to change it for some reason, and that's what led up to Gray show up using his zeroth blade and taking him out in such a quick time. And I don't know which of those I prefer. Which of those do you guys prefer between seeing the fight with Tempester and Laxus, or Tempester and, well, not really a fight, but them and Gray. I thought they were both cool, but at the same time, I really liked more of the idea of him fighting Gray, because it was a good showing of what Gray was now capable of after he got his demon slaying powers. And kind of thinking back on that, it was really weird that they gave him some obvious ocular power. You remember it looked like a bunch of shit was going into his eye, something to it, and then never really explored that because he seemed to know some form of information uh, on the demons just by looking at them, and I found that to be, is Duke of Yonko's still here? I don't know what the dude's doing. If he wants to, if he's here, he's here. I'd invite him in, but it's Yellow Flash's Discord. He might be okay with it. I don't know if I can check. I don't think he minds if I invite people. He seems pretty chill about that as long as everyone's civil. Because right now I'm not in the Discord chat right now, but I'm in the Discord for him. Actually, I can just invite you to my Discord. What am I talking about? It do you wanna? I can probably throw out a Discord invite for anybody if they want. If anybody wants to come in at some point, maybe I'll probably just have Duke for in the voice chat at some point, or in the stream chat, and then I'll probably actually just wait and plan it ahead, and that way I could set it properly. I don't know why I'm trying to do things without preparation, because that's just gonna make everything fall apart. Next time, because I talked to him earlier. He invited me on his stream actually, and we're gonna try and go about that at some point, which should be pretty cool if you guys wanna. If you guys ever wanna, watch his stuff, he seems pretty cool. Let's see. Terminology should change more accurate because of dragons. Quite. Yeah, they said they called them dragons, but not really dragons, Andres, and that's slightly confusing. But it's like, yeah, dragons. And they're like, those aren't dragons. Like, yeah, but in this series they're called dragons. That's why I wish they just called them hollows. Would have made it a lot easier. But whatever. I like the hollow design. I always thought the hollows are really cool creatures, and I may not be the most might not be the most unbelievable thing, but Kubo always was a winner in my eyes when it came to uh, some of his designs. Like I think he was the most consistent when it came to designs. Like Kubo always had a very solid kind of grasp on keeping characters looking like super neat, always making them look like like they're memorable. And usually, yeah, at least if they're worth, a shred of shit. But most of the time he didn't really fuck around with too many characters that weren't noteworthy, you know what I mean? There weren't a lot of characters that were kind of brought around and then not really made a point to remember. I think a good example. Why even have? I don't know what Hiroshima was doing with Nineheart. Like, does anybody else kind of Legend of the Millennium Dragon perhaps? Maybe. Does anyone else remember when Nineheart was first foreshadowed? The dude looked like a freaking. He looked like he was gonna look like an armored ninja turtle or something, and then he like comes out and he's just like this real gay dude. He looked like some like crazy fucking dude with a with like a what kind of hairstyle did he have? What is that called? I think that's like just like a some weird little swoosh. I like Nineheart's powers. I'm gonna hold a grudge against him forever because when he went up against Natsu, he didn't bring back Marred Gear. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a deep love of Marred Gear. I look forward to the next time I get to see a intensive anime moment. I actually really liked what they did with Natsu's roar against Blue Note. I thought that looked really good. I think his fire looks great so far in this. Oh yeah, let me read this. I prefer that those witches didn't use guns. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of their weapons in Burn the Witch so far. That's the only thing that kind of turned me away. I wish it was like they used, I don't know, brooms and their brooms turned to weapons or something. I was not like I always liked I think it's just because I think Kubo really wants to use guns. I think he wants to use guns more. I recently started Jujutsu Kaisen, and I should be caught up by this week. Yeah, that's really Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a weird manga. It's got a lot of really odd-looking panels, and so far some pretty cool characters. Pretty, I'd say unique art because the art style is it's like rough, but it's like a good rough, which that's lewd the way that I just said that. It's it's a it's a way that I think kind of complements his story and it kind of adds a little bit into what's going on and adds a little bit into the style of the series which I like and I look forward to the I look forward to seeing where he's going with it and I'm wondering if he's gonna kind of keep it hold on yawn if he's gonna keep it as kind of grim as it's been because it's not been like hey, it's super dark time, but it's been pretty not the nicest time is kind of what I'm going with. They already had like a dude get like violently mutated into like some weird grim little creature. They already had shit like that what's that dude? I think Junpei, I think is his name is. That dude's mom already got freaking murdered like shortly into the series. Like I don't even know what happened there. Like I was so prepared for this nice lady to be like a reoccurring character who gives like maybe some wise advice, maybe does something entertaining for people that are watching and reading, and then here she is, dead as fuck. What am I gonna go about now? How am I supposed to respond to this? Like what the fuck? Maybe I'm wondering if I'm gonna ever remember this author's name because I've made it clear like I only you seem to really remember authors who I who I tend to really kind of give attention to. Tabata, Mishima, Horikoshi, uh, just a lot of these guys who I think are very talented, very cool, just well dudes, but at the same time just kind of their own guy. And I look forward to seeing what exactly this guy does with his series. Like it's interesting. It's a really interesting time, and I like that about Jujutsu Kaisen. It doesn't feel like it's gonna be like a normal shonen, even though it's running in Weekly Shonen Jump. It looks like it's gonna appear on a different area, and that's one of the things I like about the a lot of the newer a lot of the newer uh, shonen titles because I think a lot of the new guys seem to know about the tropes people like and dislike, and that's why you're not getting as much of the old stuff. You're not getting as much overly goofy stuff that doesn't kind of play into anything. When you have something silly, it might actually pertain to something going on, and it actually will have some form of payoff in a way, whether it's serious or just overall like increasingly entertaining. Oh, lots of hands, mercenary. Katakuri Circus. Where have I heard that? Oh, sorry, I just took a drink and I still had a little bit of this in my throat. Katakuri Circus. Where do you rank Fairy Tail in your anime list? Um, I don't know, Agar, because the thing about the anime is the Fairy Tail anime has a lot of wonky parts. I'm still mad how poorly they did Dragon Force at the end of the Marred Gear fight. They made Memento Mori look really cool, and I was really happy about that. But they made they made it so Dragon Force in the frickin' anime was just golden fire, and Natsu didn't have his fire horn. So now the next time he has it, they're either gonna just say they're gonna change it to the way it should be, and some people are probably gonna be confused, or they keep that, and I'm gonna be mad because I don't want that at all. I don't want there to be um, I don't want it to be like that. I really like the fire horns. I thought that's a really cool aspect to his character. I thought that was manga list in manga. It's my favorite manga. It's I don't and before you get at me, I'm not gonna claim to say it's the best manga of all time just because I like it. I'm not gonna say I like it only because it's the best manga of all time. I personally like it a lot. I really like the characters and the story. I like the action. I like a lot of the scenes. Um, I just think it's very entertaining, and I have a lot of fun rereading it and going through it. I get really, really antsy whenever there's a new chapter about to come on. Like the last 10 minutes before the chapter came out today is when you could tell. That's one of those times you could tell you're a fan of something. It's just like every minute felt like a day of just knowing that like right when that clock ticks over for me to the hour, I'm gonna get to peer through the chapter. I just have to go onto the app that they sell that the app that the website that currently the series is being published on. I have it linked up. Every week or so I put in like a few dollars and I can keep the next couple chapters, buy the next few of the Happy spinoff and of 100 Years Quest. That way I'm still officially paying for the chapters, still reading them, and I can see what's going on. And I like I said, I was very happy going through the chapter this morning. It was very exciting to see after 2 weeks. I like this one. There's a lot of action, and it's gonna hurt. The next couple chapters are gonna hurt because it's gonna be awesome because it's action, but it's a bi-weekly, and it's not as long as I think it should be as a bi-weekly. So it feels a little bit painful of the wait time you're gonna get. But I think the series is going to go on for a while, and I look forward to seeing how things kind of go about that, and I like that a lot. His anime is also being produced by the team that did Hunter x Hunter. It's a good first episode. Katakuri Circus says. I'll check it out. I'll check it out after this. What if the reason the Bleach anime hasn't come back is because no, it's I think the execution arc just had really bad sales because it was or bad views. It's because it was just I mean, it was entertaining if you knew that there it was like a hey, a straight out of time skip arc, but it didn't. It didn't feel like it. It didn't. It felt like it felt like a dragged out fan fiction or movie. I don't know. What I'm wondering, do you know the YouTuber Soulfist? I don't. I don't know who that is. Who's that? But Bleach is still popular, so why isn't it come back? I don't know. I don't know why it's not coming back. I'd be willing to. I'd definitely watch a continuation of Bleach. Like I would 100% pick Bleach back up, the anime, continue onward. I always thought Bleach was good. Probably due to oh yeah, and then they continued it. But the thing is, the Thousand Year Blood War was interesting, but it was I don't know. I think they should have switched. I think they should have just switched the Thousand Year Blood War and the Arankar. Because the thing about the Stern Ritter are cool, but none of the Stern Ritter I think are as cool as the well, I wouldn't say none of the Stern Ritter. The Stern Ritter as a whole aren't nearly as cool as the Espada as a whole. And the Espada Mikota, I don't know, Andres. That's all. Get me on the next stream about that, Andres. I'm gonna have to think about that one. But yeah, I don't know if Kuba liked his last arc. It just doesn't feel. The arc itself, it felt wonky. It felt more like he was writing, kind of like writing ideas, not like an actual arc. Aizen should have been the final boss. I think if he switched Thousand Year Blood War and the Aranka arc, it would have worked better. Also, I really like the Bount arc. I don't care what anyone says. The Bount arc should have been canon. Kuba actually said recently he's going to come back to manga. He said he was really sad that uh, he hasn't been drawing in a while because it used to be it's such a staple now of his life that it feels weird not doing it and he doesn't like it. Yeah, the bouncer are cool. They're freaking soul vampires. Like, what's not badass about that? They would drain soul out of people, and I don't remember what their summons were called, but those were so cool. We'd be going to see Halloween this weekend. I don't know. Put that on the maybe list. Not like I'm not 100% sure, just because I'm like I don't really I wasn't thinking about it, but I definitely want to. I definitely want to go to the movies. I really actually like going to the movies. I really like. Uh, I've always really liked just going to the movies in general. I always thought it was a fun time. I really like going there, sitting there, getting my snacks, watching just in the dark, seeing the film. Obviously, I don't. I, when I say that, I don't assume stuff like people are loud and obnoxious. I assume people aren't doing that at the movies when I'm talking about it. I'm not taking that into account because why would I? There's no point to that. And I really want there to be more of I assume there's gonna be immersion. You seem to have a love hate relationship with One Piece. I don't know about that. It's just One Piece has been pissing me off for a while because they do so much stuff that it's just like why even set it up? Why even have people like Hold'em and the sumo guy? Why not just make one of them? You don't need both characters. You don't need to hype up two different characters just to have Luffy one shot both of them and make me think either of them are big deals. Why should at this point, honestly, at this point, you shouldn't even assume anybody that isn't like a boss is going to be a big deal for Luffy. It's silly. Luffy he's gotten in that spot where he's in the arc, anybody but like two characters go up against him, he's gonna trash him. And obviously, Natsu in his later portions of the series and in the Albres arc, there were a lot of people he just towered over, but there were still a fair amount of people that were opponents to him, and it was not spread out like it is in One Piece. Like there's still a lot of people that can contest Luffy, but there's gonna only be like two, maybe three in an arc that can contest him, and you didn't get that with Fairy Tail. There was a bunch of people in the Albrecht arc, all that were opponents for Natsu to watch out for, people for him to have to deal with, and you don't get that with Luffy anymore. You don't get that at all, and I thought that was like I thought that's silly. Like obviously I don't expect everybody to be a threat for Luffy at this point, but it should be setting up for him to fight the boss character, but at the same time let the small characters fight his guys. Let all the minions and all the tiny characters fight his crew, and that way you can get other members of Luffy's crew get action. So you don't have arcs of people in his set just doing nothing. That's silly. Let's see. Let me. I didn't like Thousand Year Blood War. He fused Christianity with Nazis. That certainly rubs me the wrong way. Out of Black Clover, My Hero Academia, which series do you think has the better year in the manga? Mercenary. Do you mean sales or quality? Because that depends. Quality, I would definitely say within the last year, I thought Black Clover was much better. The stakes have been much higher. I thought like so many, like there are multiple characters that have all got like a really good spotlight. Leona had her badass fight. Zora had his own moments. Asta got his own moments. Noelle, Yami, Luck, Magna, Vanessa, like so many of the characters all got to have really cool parts within the last year. You don't get a lot of that with My Hero Academia because I think part of the problem, I don't think Horikoshi plans out what to do with a lot of the side characters. Like I feel like he knows what he's doing with Deku. I think he knows his plan with Deku. I think he's got it all kind of sorted out. But with the side characters, I think he's kind of juggling them around and trying to figure things out. Let's see. Oh, in terms of success, last time I checked, it was My Hero Academia, but Black Clover was close. It might overtake it this year, maybe in mangas like trade sales, maybe. It's a possibility. I don't know if that'll happen though. Well, the thing about it is Luffy is just dumb. Luffy is an idiot. He's a dumb dumb. But the thing about him that kind of made him cool is the fact that he was good at combat smarts. He was good at thinking of on his to his plan. Now he just hits people really hard, and he's like, well, if that's not working, I'll just blow my hand up and hit him harder. Natsu, I wouldn't say Natsu's dumb. He's more like a jackass because we've shown that he's not stupid. Like you get the whole part with he figured out. Always a really good point. Him figuring out Crawford was there was something fishy about him, something suspicious that he's potentially the traitor. He's always trying to do plans, and they're obviously not the best plans, but at the same time, he's trying to figure things out that logically would probably work, and then he just seems more he seems more of a jackass all the time, like he wants to fuck around, and that just kind of I think that kind of goes with his pretty cheerful personality versus someone like Luffy who's just kind of dumb as dirt. I don't I don't hate Luffy. I just don't really like what he's become. I think what I'd kind of want to go with it. I do really like Natsu though. My favorite genre of music. I don't know. I like metal, but I don't have a I only listen to this music thing, and I usually just kind of like will let music play if I find something I like, and then just stuff after that. I'll just see if I like it or not. Even if I didn't even pick the song, we'll just let things ride. But it's a very interesting kind of idea with some of the stuff Luffy does, but he doesn't. I just feel like Kubo or not Kubo. I feel like Oda I don't think plans ahead in large aspect. I think he kind of gets like an outline, and then some of the parts he just will think of when the time being like when the time kind of comes, and then once at that point he's just like, all right, sweet, it's good, we did it, good job team. And they're like, don't you want to maybe do a second? Don't you think you want to talk about some of the stuff that we went over? Maybe figure out if that was a good idea. Make check for consistency or something. He's just like, nope, we're good. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't hate One Piece. I don't hate Oda. I don't really get into the hype. There's a lot of stuff that is super hype that I don't really kind of follow too much. But that's just me. Let me see. Quality about what? I wonder how OP would. My guess. I've had my kind of theory of how One Piece will end for a long time. I think there's gonna be a little kid similar to Luffy, so in some situation, and who's gonna get into some issue, and it's gonna end with Luffy going up to him, giving him his hat, and then in some similar kind of fashion to Shanks, and then ride out with his crew, and then I don't know, maybe they're like, all right, time for the next adventure, and that'll be the end of One Piece. But that's gonna be definitely gonna be something that's gonna be it's a while from now. One Piece. I don't like it's definitely at least a couple more years off. I don't see it kind of just ending so early in sight. I think there's supposed to be like two more arcs after this at least. There's obviously we're in Wano. I know a lot of people are saying Elbaf, but I don't think there's going to be an Elbaf arc because the thing is, even though the Giants keep getting hype, I don't believe in the Giants' hype. I don't believe the hype of the Giants in One Piece because every single time a Giant shows up, they end up getting punked by somebody else. Like I don't think any of the Giants in One Piece have ever been like, wow, that guy's a big deal. It's like there's two Giants from the beginning of the series were got like pushed around. They got like beat up by freaking base Luffy and like East Blue, and then you had like the Giants that were subordinates of them in Marineford, and they both got wrecked. And then you had like the Giants that Big Mom killed when she was a little kid. What's up, Carl? Yeah, Luffy. That's how you get Luffy is you poison the meat. You put a parasite in there and he just dies. How do you see Mishima progressing? I think Toka's gonna have a plan that I think that'll end up kind of like eventually evolving their relationship. We'll see what it's all gonna depend also what happens with Natsu and Lucy in general. Uh, yeah, I just Andres knows. I don't Andres dislikes Luffy I think more than I do. I just don't care for Luffy. Personal opinion. I don't know. Some people like him. I'm not one of those people. But I don't hate him. I just don't really care for him. Obviously other people can like him. It's not a big deal. Like I'm not gonna stop anybody from liking One Piece or from disliking Fairy Tail. I mean, I'll say like give it a try. I mean, I'm not gonna force anybody to do anything, but definitely would give it a try. Like I usually when something happens in One Piece that I like, I'll say, "Hey, sweet, what's up, Kenneth? How's it going? Oh, see you, Gar. Hope you have a good day, dude." What do you think of version 2 of the Black Clover? I like it. I think the new opening is starting to grow on me, to be perfectly honest, because I was like, I don't really know how I feel about it right now. It kind of further progressed in this listening to it a couple more times, and I think it's grown on me. I still think 3 is the best one. I think the third One Piece opening or third One Piece opening, third Black Clover opening is still the best one. I just think that one is like the song was really good, the animation was good, like the style that the opening kind of began with of all the stuff you see first, everything within it just looked really nice. Everything around it just looked spectacular. And I always look forward to new openings, but obviously new openings aren't always, just because there's a new opening doesn't mean it's gonna be better than the last one. I mean, I like the new Fairy Tale opening, but it's definitely not my favorite. There's a lot of cool parts to it, but I wish it was a little bit more like intensely energetic. But obviously, this is the opening portion of the arc. Once we get to like, I'd say once we start getting Spriggan members kind of running around, I would like a more like serious note, because obviously this part of the anime is more about like Fairy Tale coming back. Like we that TARDIS arc kind of had a lot of like sad aspects to it. A lot of it was about like loss and like despair and like suffering. Like there was a lot of pain in that arc that a lot of characters went through, and that's why this arc kind of has this tone of like hope and like a much happier tone, getting you out of that kind of state of sadness, which I thought was a kind of like a good pick back up, when you leave that arc and you're just like, when you really think about it, like, yeah, they won, but Natsu saw Igneel get completely roasted. Gray had to watch his dad die. Gay Lucy had to give up her best friend. Frickin' Gadget almost watched like his girl die. There was a lot of vicious stuff that arc that really was just like Jesus. Like frickin' Mira had to relive like memories of her being like almost hunted as a kid. There was a lot of vicious stuff back then in that arc, and I really like Hiromishima's darker tone, but I don't know if I would like Fairy Tail to be like that all the time, because I think he has a really good blend of like serious and fun. That's one of the things I really like about it. I think One Piece has too many fun parts, and I think some similar with My Hero Academia. I think personally, I think it's too many relaxed portions, not enough like serious. Personally, for me, and it's also one of the things I like about Black Clover. It tends to seemingly have a lot more parts that you need to hope that the characters you like don't get into some jams. But even if they don't die, they're still not. It doesn't seem like they're automatically gonna leave the arc swell. I mean, Finral was out for like a straight year actually. Finral's been down and out for a while. And I've really liked Finral. I think he's a cool character, but that dude's been gone for like a hot minute. And then we didn't even get like Gotch for a while. Like I'll never I don't think I'll ever pronounce his name right. We didn't get him for the longest time. I'm trying to think the last time he was really relevant. I think it was in the Sea Temple, and that now we just got him again recently, but for such a like one fight. And then what? Have you seen the Superpowers opening? Yeah, it's all right. I've seen a lot of like One Piece fans be like really mixed about that new opening. Like some of them seem to like it, some of them are just like, no, this is dumb. It's too plain. I don't I don't really have much like negative or positive opinions. I'm just like, I mean, okay, not a big deal for me because I'm not a big One Piece kind of guy, but it was all right. I don't think it should have been a happy opening because you'd think that with some of the stuff that happens in the later portions of that arc, with the obviously the big focus is Luffy versus Katakuri, that it would be more towards like an intense song, something more to like maybe like uplifting or kind of get you in that serious mindset. Instead, it was more of like a kind of like cheery, like happy hooray for us song, and I think that's kind of where, in my opinion, it hurts because it kind of hurts the tone. That's what you kind of need to. it doesn't really work when you have something like if you're like we're gonna do the Tartarus arc and then but we're gonna do it like super smiley. I don't think that would have went well at all. Like that, I don't think any of them were like cheerful. Some of them were kind of started out a little bit not depressing, but not like the last one definitely was that like just believe in myself and it you see a bunch of like parts of like showing characters that they're gonna lose and it was just like geez this is getting pretty gloomy like Gray looking at his dad and Juvia just like breaking up that she thinks she's ruined Gray's like psyche and shit. That's actually a really good part. One of my friends, he says he gave he tried the fairy tale anime, didn't really like it too much. He's gonna try it again at some point, but he liked Gray, and I know once he eventually like one day decides to try it again and gets to that part where Gray and Silver fight, I really look forward to seeing what his response is. Because that was a really cool part. I think I really like that kind of portion of Gray trying to be like a because Gray throughout the series compared to Natsu, he's a lot more serious in fights. He's a lot more like Gray's always seems like he'd be cool with like putting someone down if he has to, and then just like the person that he was gonna have to put down was his dad, and he's just he gave his reasoning. You're like, okay, yeah, maybe he'll do it, and then just that kind of break in his personality and that complete and total like breakdown of his uh of what we usually see him as because of his the presence obviously his dad and it must have been real rough seeing his dad die again, it wasn't like someone like Naruto who even though yeah his dad died, it was more like he was put into rest, not like he's like yeah I have to go fucking the evil dude that's like housing my spirit and my soul is about to die, so see ya. And then obviously Natsu and Ignil. That was rough. That was a real rough one. That one still gets to me like real bit. Like Gray and Silver get to me, but like Natsu and not the one with Natsu and Ignil like still really really gets to me. That one cuts me deep. Like definitely one of the most emotional like definitely one of the most emotional parts for me. Cuz like you get something like Lucy losing Aquarius. I'm like, damn, that sucks. But at the same time, I'm like, it's still emotional, and it's like, damn. But you know that she's gonna get her key back. It's a unfortunate part. Obviously, to Lucy, you don't know if she's gonna get it back from a you know eventually down the line she's gonna get it back from a reader standpoint, but from a character standpoint, you might not really know. And it was more of a rough sadness, whereas Natsu watching his dad get ripped apart and then fried was just like, God damn. And then just like similar to with Gray, just seeing a character in no way like that sadness completely break what we usually see as them. And Luffy, the thing with like the thing is Luffy's sadness afterwards, like when he was like refusing that Ace was dead, I thought was good. I thought that was good for his character. But like when he just kind of like falls on his knees in the middle of a fucking war zone and he's just like Ace is dead. Ah! And he just like pretty much like goes into a saddened coma. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing right now? You know you're in a battle. I think a large difference between kind of like looking at something like Natsu's character and Luffy's character is though Natsu likes to fuck around, he knows things get serious. Like I think that point is with Ace dying was like a good kind of standing of where Luffy is like, there's no way he's dead. And I'm like, dude, you saw it happen. Like you're supposed to be a pirate. You're fighting the law. Like this is something you should be prepared for. And I really didn't like the fact that he like went to like a fucking sad boy coma. Like, come on, dude. Just you would have then if somebody else didn't save his ass like they always do. Has anyone ever noticed that? Like every time in One Piece arc when they're like, "Oh shit, we're in a corner," another group shows up and it's like, "Yeah, we gotcha." Like fucking Luge Town when Dragon showed up. I know, and I'm gonna have to look back at a couple of these to provide more evidence. There was that time with frickin' Law and Shanks showing up to save Luffy when he almost, he went into a sad boy coma. There's frickin' the Germa 66 being like, "We're gonna help fight Big Mom now." Hee hee hee. I still hate Big Mom as a character. I hope that Oda doesn't ruin Kaido. Like for real, I really hope he doesn't ruin Kaido. I don't know how he could have fucked Kaido up as bad as or as fucked him up as much as he fucked up Big Mom. Thoughts on Carrot? I like Carrot. I think Carrot's cool. I hope Carrot becomes a Straw Hat. She's one of the only characters recently that I've enjoyed. Like I didn't really like Carrot at first because it was like, what's with this furry? But Carrot kind of grew on me, and at the same time, I like her power. I like that she's got like the electric claws, and then she's got her like super were rabbit form. I think that's pretty neat. I always thought that was a bit of a cool design by Oda. Good on him on that part. I look forward to. I'm hoping she joins the crew. Cause that'll be something at least to make me look forward to more One Piece. Is if I get at least get a character in the crew now that I can consistently like. Cause the only other person probably Brook, but Brook. Same thing I was saying. Like I don't think like Horikoshi knows what he's planning to do with some of the characters. I my only problem with Brook is I feel like Oda doesn't know when Brook is gonna be a jokey character and when he's gonna be like a serious character. Because I think when he's serious, he's really cool. I like a lot of the panels he's in. I liked when he was fucking up with Big Mom and he just didn't seem to give that much of a shit. He was like calling her young lady and just like being like, "Get out of here, you freaking young blood," and just being being funny, but at the same time badass. I thought that was neat. Uh, I like his character. I like Brook. I used to really like Sanji. Sanji was cool, and then I don't know. Fuego Leon was pretty awesome. I like Fuego Leon. Fuego Leon's fucking champ. I think you should do a segment involving breakdowns of fight and various series. I'm planning on that because the one of the ones I want to do, uh, the first one I'm gonna do because I've been thinking about that. That's one of the ones I've actually been really considering is how Oda completely cheated Katakuri out of the win that he deserved. I still think it's bullshit that Luffy won that fight. I don't think that fight makes any sense. I think it's really ridiculous the way that it was kind of brought about and presented. And I don't look forward to. I don't look forward to more Luffy's fights. So if this is how Oda plans on doing it, I liked Dogtooth at first. Dogtooth Katakuri. I think he's all right. I don't hate him. I'm not like a huge fan of him. I I think it's just the thing that ruined him for me is that big goofy mouth that frickin' Oda gave him. Like, why do it? Why would you do this? Why would you do this to the dude? He looked so cool. Now he looks like a big goober. Now he looks like just like a big fucking goofy dude. I mean, whatever. Not life changing, but at the same time, why do it? Why do it? I look forward to seeing some more of his plans for this arc. Because even though I'm still salty about some of the stuff he's doing, I would like to assume that he's got a larger plan and that it will make sense in the grand scheme of things. I wonder if we'll ever hear from like actually hear from Igneel again. Like I said, I really like Igneel. I think he's a cool dude. I I want to see more from him. I want to see more flashbacks. I want some like more spin-offs. I want there to be a spin-off where it's just like, hey, here's like 2 or 3 volumes where we cover some stuff about a character, like what we got a couple of them already. I want more. I thought those were really good. Thoughts on Flambe? Which one's Flambe? I read that like slightly before, and I thought you were saying Diablo Jambe, which is that's freaking Sanji's like attack. I thought that was pretty cool. Flambe. Hold on, let me think. I don't remember Flambe. Which one was Flambe? Is that one of Big Mom's kids? The only one I really liked, actually no, I like the Willy Wonka looking guy. I like the dude who looks like Willy Wonka. I think he's cool. But that dude is pretty neat. But I don't know. Not too sure. Not 100% though. What I kind of look forward to is whether or not when is Luffy gonna get his awakening? Because that's the thing that really I think bothered me about the Dogtooth fight. I keep calling Dogtooth against. I decided to go with Katakuri. I don't know why I'm calling him Dogtooth. With the Katakuri fight, is Oda um he freaking decided that the dude he decided that awakening was now a thing. He decided I know people have talked about awakening before, but it wasn't obviously the same thing. It's like early hockey, and then it just looks like he altered it. But he decided now all these guys are like, hey, look, awakening. This is how you become a even better devil fruit user. And then, characters got awakening, and it's like, okay, cool. There's a powered up version. You could like affect your environment and shit. And I don't have any negative or positive opinions on Flambe Mercenary, but you have this power up that, okay, you can use this for, all these different characters. You could give Luffy a power. Like I thought that's what Luffy was gonna have. Like when he saw fourth gear, you saw that his armament hockey was also at the same time being, armor, that it was also rubbery, and so it absorbed even more of like blunt force and like kick punches and all those things. And yet it wasn't. And it was a good time to bring it up when he fought Katakuri. Yeah, no, I got it right that time. Katakuri, because at that time, yeah, at that time, he's obviously losing in a fight. He needed something to, turn the tables, turn things around in his favor, and that would have been the perfect time for Oda to give him Awakening and give him, an upgraded version, and you could really see what Luffy's got. And instead, he invented a new way to make hockey stronger. So now any time that Luffy's in a fight, really, shouldn't his hockey, like if he's losing, his hockey should just get stronger and he won't need anything else? Like I'm still kind of confused on that. I'm a little bit kind of confused on why he just didn't give him Awakening, why he had to invent a new way that hockey works, which is really stupid because I don't think it makes a shred of sense. Which biker from True Yu-Gi-Oh? Which one I like the most? Valen. Valen for sure. Valen is awesome. I liked his weird armor, his weird mech armor deck. Or I just said dick. Mech armor deck that he used against Joey. And like I've said, Joey had the best duels out of anybody in that arc. Like other than Yugi's other than Yugi's duel against uh Darts, like Joey just crushed other duels. He had freaking his duel with Mike, his duel with Rex, his duel with uh Va freaking Valen. That's why I was salty. Like in the Kaibaland Grand, I think it was what the Kaibaland Grand Championship was the name of it. That Joey ended the series on a loss when he lost to Siegfried, and I was so beat up by that. I was so beat up by the idea that Joey would lose to some fucking random schmo after going through all that cool ass shit, fighting all these dudes, kicking the shit out of them, and just like Joey was like, yeah, like Joey was a monster that arc. He just like he's whooping up on everybody, and yet And yet he lost. He hasn't gotten he hasn't got a time to redeem himself. When is it? We need to get a Joey spinoff going. Come on, Konami, Konami, please. I'd be okay with it. I actually want them to do a Yu-Gi-Oh sequel on just the original series, just because you know that there's a lot more to come. And I know there's a lot of. I usually don't like it when people do like, original's the best one, haha. I do think Yu-Gi-Oh original is the best one. I like Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I like GX, and then I like Arc 5. Those are probably my order. I do really like original. I think original's the coolest one. I really like a lot of the character designs. I like a lot of duels. I liked when duels lasted like 3 episodes, like it on regular, and then like big duels are like 5 to 6. Like we need that again in Yu-Gi-Oh. Please. Like a lot of them are only like 2 episodes now, and I don't like that they're so short. I think the one against I think the one with Yusaku fighting Revolver. I think that one is 3 episodes. Not 100% sure off the top of my head. Valen was cool. I really liked all their decks, but Valen actually Alistair's deck was all right. Alistair's entire deck was Zigarax. Oh, Kaiba, Kaiba. I'm just being salty at Kaiba, just being a grump. You ruined me life, Kaiba. Fucking dude. He was an alright character. I didn't hate him, but I don't fucks with him as much as some people probably did. He's probably the least cool out of the three of them, I'd say, is Alistair. Obviously, if I get to pick darts in there, though, I'm picking darts because darts had a cool ass deck. I think he had a cool back. He had not the best backstory, but a cool backstory, and I just like how he was like this crazy cult leader that was like, aha, I've got all of you. You didn't like Arc 5? I really liked Arc 500. I thought Arc 5 was cool. I liked all the throwbacks and I really liked all the throwbacks. I liked uh, revisiting old decks with like all the updated stuff. I liked the plot. I liked the whole like twist with Yuya. I thought that was really good. I and I think it kind of expanded the idea of the multiverse that I've seen some people say is the thing that makes the main characters like I've seen some stuff of things that make the main characters important is they're the only versions of themselves across like the multiverse. It's like you'll have different versions of Seto Kaiba or Jack Atlas or Crow or Aster Phoenix, but there's only one Yugi, there's only one Jaden, there's only one Yusei, there's only one Yuma, only one Yuya, only one Yusaku. I think that's I think that's a cool idea personally. I always thought that was as they would say, pretty neato. Always thought it kind of gave the series a little bit kind of something of its own. Raphael was cool. If I had to pick, I'd go Darts, Valen, Raphael, Alistair. Actually, I'd put Maya above Alistair. Alistair was really weird. Like his character design was like, hey, look, I'm a dude in like a frickin' I wear like a boy's tank top and I ride around and I yell about Zigarax and what was Dyna Dude? No, it's Dyna Guy. I'm thinking I feel like I'm getting no, it was Dyna Dude or is it Diamond Dude? I think I'm getting him mixed up with the one of Aster Phoenix's D heroes. Talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're talking about you're asking me some Yu-Gi-Oh questions. What's up, dude? That's talking about Cigarex and just like the Awakening of the Dragons arc is probably my favorite arc in Yu-Gi-Oh. Just because a lot of it was kind of like it was the most I'd say it's the most unexpected arc, and that's what I really liked about it. Because you knew at some point you were gonna get you were gonna get backstory on Yugi's on Egypt and what's going on with Yugi. You're gonna get another tournament. I don't know how many people like at the time were expecting interdimensional like dragons and Mad King from Atlantis. It was really crazy. The duels were awesome. That was the that was definitely like a freaking high point. I really like that arc. I think that arc is fantastic. I've watched it many times. I could watch it many times more, and I look forward to the next time I really feel like watching it. Right now, I'm rewatching the Batman '90s cartoon. I'm gonna watch that, and then I'm gonna rewatch Justice League, and then I'm gonna rewatch Batman Beyond. I want to get them all just kind of going. I've bought the DC streaming service, so I've been going through their stuff and just having a good old time. Hmm. The Civil account ghost was fucking super cool. My God, Rage Up, yeah, I don't, you don't like you know he's me greatly because he's a little joke. He's poor dude. No, the thing about Yuya becomes really good and he's cool. He's a jackass because he doesn't want anyone to take things too seriously. He tries to do everything for fun, which I can kind of see where he comes from. But that's what makes this his shift so cool when he becomes like a fucking psychotic like berserker when he links up and that fucking Zark personality comes through. I thought that was the really cool part. That's a really good kind of contrast of his character. I thought that was neat for them to do. I thought that was really cool. It's just such a big shift of what you kind of got used to with Yuya, and then just like, hey, look, I'm the fucking super crazy Yuya. What's going on, guys? Seal counts as cool. Let me know when it seems for his overall big DC. It's good. It's the DC streaming service is cool. I look forward to the other shows coming out. The only problem I have with it right now is I think the video player is a little bit. I don't think it is the best video player. I don't know a ton about all that stuff, but it's just like it'll switch. It'll run into like a problem, and then it will switch to like uh, a lesser quality video, and then it just won't go back when if like there's a connection fix. Like if it hiccups for a second, it'll go like fucking 240, and then like I'll just but you just have to refresh it, and it'll go back to fucking HD or whatever you set it to. And then the only other problem I really have is that the only other problem I have is that it when you get to a new episode, it and you have it full screen, it'll just unfull screen it, which I really wish it didn't do, but whatever. The streaming service though is good. I like it. I look forward to the next couple episodes. I did watch Titans. I watched the first episode of Titans. I thought it was good. Not like great, but enjoyable. And it looks like they might have fixed one of my main problems. I don't like that they're making Starfire black for no reason when she's an orange-skinned alien. I always thought that was really weird. But like if they just it looks like she might just be a metahuman, which I think is a good idea. And other than that, they are doing like a lot darker with Raven's backstory, which at least compared to like the show, like I haven't read the original comics. I don't know how crazy the original comic goes, but I like what they're doing with their character in the TV show, keeping her like dark, but not like dark to kind of fit the tone. And then actually something I really liked they don't show you in the trailer, which I think is a huge plus, is that Robin, after he fucks those dudes up like super crazy, like fucks all those dudes up really bad, that he goes and like washes his little throwing R's, and you could tell when he's washing the blood off that he doesn't like that there's fucking blood all over his little throwing knives, and that really got to him. You could tell he's really upset about it, and I thought that was really cool of his character. That you can clearly see that it's bothering him, and that's what I really liked about that first episode. That was probably my favorite part. Is just the small aspect of figuring out something about him as a person. And you're obviously seeing that he doesn't actually want to hurt people this severely, But it was a cool fight scene. I thought that was badass. Next episode comes out in like 2 days. They are something I also before I move on to something else. I did really like with Titans is they are committing to the fact that they're doing really like dark and gritty, and they're like I think the next one is like Hawk and Dove, and they fight with like swords, and they're fully fine with like slicing people up, which I think a lot of people are kind of like see like dark gritty stuff like that. And they're like, dark gritty, no. But it's some people really like that. I like it if it's done right. Like I'm all right with like more cheerful stuff, as long as it's too not too overly optimistic. But I like dark stuff too. I think a good dark story is pretty fun. I think it really gives will add to a nice kind of like set and tone of the series. Oh, Netflix. Netflix is I don't know, Netflix seems to get real wonky. I mean, almost everything's better than Crunchyroll, so at least there's that. Fuck Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll sucks. Once Crunchyroll fixes their shit, I will consider if I ever want to forgive them. Until then, I don't know. I'm just so disappointed with some of their actions and some of their choices. Like, why would they do these things? Why would they pander to a bunch of people that don't actually even like this stuff? Like almost every single, I don't like the whole High Guardian Spice thing is so trash. I don't think anybody actually really like what Sailor Moon is. That's like the closest thing you get to like a really Sailor Moon and was that Madoka or like the really big magical schoolgirl stuff. But I don't think there's any like really big magical schoolgirl stuff. But obviously the thing that made Madoka real popular is that it was like super fucked up crazy one. Do you think that Kaiba should have been Atem's last opponent? No, I liked that it was Yugi. I liked that it was Yugi, so it was. I think it kind of like added to their characters to see them kind of in that last bout between the two good guys, the two main characters, the people you'd never expect it. Because I think a lot of people were just assuming it'd be something like Atem versus Kaiba, but Atem versus Yugi, I don't think anybody really would see gonna be that final case. I thought that was neat. Yeah, the DC Titan show, it's fine. But obviously, I've only seen the first episode. There's only one out. I don't know if it's gonna keep being okay or if it's gonna get chunky. I doubt it's gonna get as bad as that Hawk and Dove show or Cloak and Dagger. That looks AIDS. What's that? The dude on it tells that girl who was almost raped to check her privilege, and it's just like, I know you were almost raped, but you're still white, so it's okay. And it's like, what the fuck? I don't think that, I don't think skin color like lowers the severity of rape, dude. I don't think anybody likes rape, at least anybody normal. Real rape, at least. No one cares about fictional rape. It's pretty wonky. Yeah, High Guardian Spice looks like such trash, Yonko, dude. The thing is, it doesn't even look like a freaking. It doesn't look like a magical schoolgirl like series. It just looks like a freaking some shitty like I know people have probably said it a million times, but just a shitty Tumblr show. It's got like nothing original looking, and they're like, oh, no, their show's gonna have the gall to do what we're doing. We're gonna have a lot of spirit. So this, uh, I mean, what are they gonna do that's different? Are they gonna make the fucking they're gonna make the freaking I don't know the gay guy a jerk, like an actual mean instead of just catty? 'Cause I know, and a lot of these people like gay dudes are all soulful saints. They're all like just the nicest guys. I don't know a lot of gay dudes, but I've known one that was really nice in real life. I'm talking about real life. I obviously have known more people because of the internet, but in real life, because obviously that's much different case than on the internet. In real life, I've known one really nice gay dude, but I've known a lot of really mean ones. So I don't believe that. But like the opposite, funny enough, is like that like super chill, like nicest guy in the planet, black dude that they always do in these shows. Like almost every time I've met, for black dudes I know they're either like comedically like in a good way, like the stereotype, or they're like real cool, like chill. There's this one dude at my work who I was like, you know, if I ever described you to somebody, they'd think that you're like a racist caricature, and then they'd meet you, and then dude busts up laughing. He's fucking that dude's great. This dude at my work, he's just like the frickin' you'd think he's like a storybook character. Dude's so funny. He's super chill though. Is anyone reading Witch Hunter? I gotta get caught up on Witch Hunter. I think you've brought it up a few times. I need to get caught up with the series because it's got a bunch of cute girls in hats. And plus, what's the main dudes? Yeah, some sick guns. You don't get a lot of. There's not a lot of series where the main character uses guns, and I'll get to it eventually. Because obviously that I'm switching between it right now a different series, and then I gotta get caught up on. I gotta give Pandora Hearts a read because I told Andres I would, and then I'll probably get the Witch Hunter after that. I found a really old manga. It's got some long ass name, just like that I've been waiting for it to you know find it forever. Luckily I was able to. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Able to discover it. Let's see. Anyone else in Halloween 2007 portrayed as redneck? I don't know, mercenary. That's a weird question or a weird fact. I'm looking forward to the Black Clover light novel episodes. I am because I don't have no fucking idea what happened in those episodes or in that story because I don't have the light novel. I look forward to what happens. It's gonna be pretty cool. I always thought Fonzel's design was kind of cool just because he came out of like if you haven't read the light novel, it's obviously very confusing. Like I was so I just would look back and try and figure out where the fuck is this dude from? What chapter was this guy introduced? Because obviously it wasn't just like a hey a guy that we know. It was like a hey a guy that's like friends with Asta that's a sword user, and we've only have a couple like sword using dudes. I thought it was a cool bit to get, and then now there's something I'm really looking forward to the anime of figuring out this Fonzel's relationship with Asta, what he did in the story. I guess he's a maybe some form of doctor, maybe some form of like alchemist. I don't know. I look forward to discovering, what exactly he brought into the series that kind of made him a character within the present story and well, present anime story and relevant to what's going on. I I'm wondering if the fight's going to be fully done with Noelle this week. I'm guessing so. I think that one will be put on lock. I wonder who's next though, because no, I think this is mostly for everyone to get their own. I think maybe a fight with just like by himself. Maybe will get a challenge. Maybe we'll get someone like actually the Zora fight especially. That's what I really want. I've been pretty vocal of my fanship of Zora. Zora is definitely my favorite member of the Black Bulls. Uh, male character favorite character tied with Leona, and I look forward to pretty much every single time I see that dude on screen. He's so cool. He's got a good power. He's got really good expressions and reactions to things. I think he's just super fucking cool. me see. Scratch my head. The song road these range from when it comes to Western anim. Yeah, a lot of Western animations. About fuck. There's a video that some guy put out about. He did an interview with some dude who got blacklisted from Western animation, and I guess he talks about all the fucked up stuff they have over in a lot of these like Cartoon Network and Disney, and like why they're so disgusting. Because I was watching some of these old DC shows, and I'm just like, cartoons used to be fucking awesome. Like I rewatched the first episode of the of Batman the animated series, right? Because they that was one of the first things that they one of the first like big like attention grabbers that they announced when the DC streaming service was kind of getting when they wanted to get everyone's attention, obviously when they it was something like we got to pull out a big gun, and they brought up how the Batman the animated series was getting an HD remastering and it was going to be on their streaming service. And the thing about the Batman TV show is that's it's probably it's probably one of the best cartoons to ever exist. Like I don't think there's a lot of people that would argue against that. It's just an all around like 10 out of 10 gold standard. And then I look at other ones. You got like Justice League, Static Shock, Batman Beyond, Superman. You have all these shows that are, these American Western cartoons, and then you look at like modern, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Like, what has gone on with a lot of these cartoons, like within the industry, that they've gotten so shitty? It isn't just like, oh, you're not, like their humor isn't the style anymore. It's just like the animation looks like crap. There's no originality. There's no heart into it. It just looks like junk. And that's what the problem I have with a lot of these current shows. Like you'll get stuff when they'll have, I don't watch it. I've seen clips. Apparently that show Gumball has like a lot of adult jokes in there, and they'll have like, I've seen there's like an episode that makes fun of like Twitter or Tumblr and SJWs, and it like makes a bunch of anime references. It definitely is something like you can nod at and go, ha. Even if you were just like passing by and you saw like a clip, you'd be like, that's kind of funny. But like a lot of these new shows, I mean, like, what are you watching them for? What am I watching? Frickin' what am I watching? She-Ra to see a series about knockoff magic schoolgirls be boring and hang out with their foppishly gay friends? No, it's not what I want. Stupid. It's silly. Yeah, we're gonna luckily we'll find that soon, Yonko. Well, the thing is, it was well, I guess yeah, I guess a Duke would make more sense to call you Duke and not Yonko. But okay, then Duke. It makes more sense in his mind because they're just going towards the Japanese versions. But I don't know. I don't think a lot of these manga writers keep in mind that we got a large uh a very large Western, or even not even just Western, worldwide like fan base. They should probably take into account when they do a lot of these kind of releases. And I look forward to, I really look forward to what exactly we're gonna get in this. I think it's like 2 or 3 episodes. Probably like hang out. Maybe he'll maybe get run into like a short boss, or that guy will be like the fight between them will kind of be like the action of that bit, the clash between Asta and Fonzel as he teaches him swordsmanship, and then he comes back later, and then then they hang out and they become buddies, and then Asta leads into the Witch Queen arc, which I think is going to be intense. I look forward to seeing like I've seen that the comments in the YouTube videos of people are like, oh man, Asta's demon form looks crazy, and it's just like it's got the radiation of like the creature in his grimoire, and you got like some yeah like you got like if you pay attention you see like the little demon eye, and he's got the sharp tooth, and then anybody who's actually like reads the manga is like that's not it. You fucking wait and see. It looks even cooler. I really like the streams that he was buying. There's a lot of aspects because like a lot of people don't think of this because obviously there's a huge gap between like what you would compare is Tabata. Like I've told you guys before, is Tabata is a big fan of Berserk, and with Berserk, he gets a lot of his inspiration. And you could when you actually like connect a lot of the things, you can see it. And one of the things I noticed recently is like when Guts is moving around in his Berserk armor and his cloak kind of trails. It trails like this shadowy like blanket like following him. And I think that for one that just looks super badass, but at the same time, um, you can look at that and then look at something like Asta with his when he's in his anti magic form and his the anti magic is leaving that like black inked like chalk etched trail and it just looks awesome. When you compare the two, you can definitely see the similarities. You can also see similarities of, like obviously not to the same degree, but Asta, wanting to become the Wizard King, and I think it's chapter 72 maybe when he's uh, looking up at the castle, like, and I think that's why Tabata put the castle like way up high on a hill to kind of make a little nod towards Berserk, and the whole thing with the castle up on the hill, first and last thing the sun touches, just giving it giving his homage to something he loves, and people probably get a little salty when you compare it because obviously I like Black Clover, but Berserk is like a godsend series. Like it's so good. Like Berserk is one of those ones that like you can probably universally like recommend to somebody and they'll probably like it. Definitely a good time. Love me some Berserk. I actually got one of my friends recently to get into Berserk, and he read it in chronological order. So he started out like when um Guts was found and adopted by Gambito's mercenary squad, and so he didn't know that he had no idea about Femto. He had no idea about like that there were demons and shit. It was pretty funny. I really liked that. He's just like, what the fuck? Like super startled, super surprised at everything. There's a lot of stuff in there that'll just like completely rattle your brain. Let me look over and see some of the comments. Yeah, some of the light novel guys. Well, it's a lot of the times the light novels aren't canon, but this one is. I know some of the Bleach ones are, but yeah, it comes down to it's when they're canon. It gets a little frustrating because they mostly take in note of just the Japanese audience, which is that's I wish they would care about us more. Sad face. Trying to get Lidl here to get more into Black Clover. Let's see. True. Kobo didn't find how many Western fans into in Comic Con. Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them don't realize that when they have it. Like Hiroshima actually talked about how he prefers uh Western fans over his Japanese fans because just like you go to like a Japanese con and then it's like or like anything of they're similar to, I think they also call them cons, and the Japanese fans are like super polite, super quiet, real chill, and then the American ones are fucking just hyped as fuck, excited, yelling. They're just having a great time. They're super chilled. And he's just talking about like the energy and just like how much more you get like riled up, excited when you see a whole room of people like cheering and screaming for you. Puts you in that cheerful, excited mood as you think it would be. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna. Don't worry, Lidl. I'm not gonna go too much longer with this stream. What time is it? How long have I been streaming for? I'll probably go for like another 10 minutes. So you guys just start wrapping up questions. You guys want to ask me anything? We can call it good here. We didn't talk about as much stuff. We didn't even talk too much about the Eden Zero one. I think that new dude's design. I think Lavilia, from what I translated, obviously again, don't take my translations too seriously because mine are rough. I think she called him Pan, and the dude looks like a fucking badass space ninja. I like that dude's design. He might be my favorite design so far in Eden Zero. I wonder what crazy stuff though we're gonna get with this fights in Fairy Tale with all the god with the dragon eaters. I really want to see the Natsu fight the most. I really want to see how powerful some of the characters are after the time skip. A year later, after all the stuff they went through, after all the craziness they experienced, after everything that really kind of shifted a lot of the tides within the world. I think that really kind of puts a staple on the idea that things would get wild within just in general with anything else that would really present to be a problem to them, you know? Like obviously we're getting that with like Toko, the dragon eaters, the dragon gods. I'm also wondering how many of the dragon gods are going to be not actually bad and how many are going to just like if it's always going to end up like they're just like what do you want from me? What's going on here? And might further lead down the theory a lot of people have been having that LF Seria is actually a bad guy, which wouldn't surprise me. The dude just seems a little. The dude, I agree. The dude does seem a little shady. I've seen a lot of people kind of put out that theory of him being him being a shady dude, and I would have to agree. I don't trust him. I don't uh I don't have a problem with him yet. I just don't really. I don't see a reason to just assume LF Seria is. I don't assume that this character we know nothing about is not some shady fuck who's got some ulterior motive to for some reason wanting to go after uh these super dragons who have been existing and not doing anything for so long, not causing any problems, but now he wants to take them out. Why though? What's your reason there, dude? Why do you wanna fucks with these dragons? What did they do to you that we need some of? Because obviously at the start it was the wizards causing problems. It wasn't the dragons. So why should we assume it's the dragons that are the problem if it's clearly the wizards that are being an issue? I want to see how powerful Toke is. Yeah, I do too. What is one of my humor on? I'd have to check. Check back with me on I think Thursday, Andres. I'll probably be like a good. I think by then I'll probably be like 10 episodes. I'd have to double check. I don't remember exactly where I'm at. Still no fairy tale version of Kyrie yet. Well, that's gonna be freaking that's gonna be Mercphobia because clearly without control over his power, he thinks he's gonna sink the planet. Like he believes that like he's gonna flood multiple continents with his water, which is pretty crazy. I look forward to seeing what he does with all that power. Mercphobia, I like his design. I want to see the other ones. I also really want to see his full dragon design. I think that one will be a neato. Definitely gonna give a little bit of a attention towards that. Yeah, he's definitely shady. I wouldn't say he's instantly bad, but I definitely would say he's like a shady fuck. And keep your eyes on him. Just be careful, I'd say. Don't trust the dude too much. Definitely something about Eleftheria that leaves me. Who do you think is stronger, Mars or Ladros? Mars. Mars can. Ladros though clearly as long as you can get like attack past, like you could get him to absorb an attack from the front, and then get around attacking from the back, which is all within Mars's power. But Mars also can and fuck around and change it instead to be make his attack speed based. He's got healing. He's got really high defenses. He's got good attacks. I really like Mars. I really want to. I really hope after this arc we go fucks with the Diamond Kingdom because I want to see Mars in action, man. It's been a while. I want to see him do stuff. I want to see his. I really like his magic. That's why I kind of see him as like the Jalal of Mars. Makes me think he's kind of like the Jalal of Black Clover. He's he switched being a villain to being a good guy. His villain status was kind of through mind control, brainwashing sort of stuff. He's got a not the same thing, but whole kind of like weird enemy relationship at one point with his girlfriend, and he's got really cool magic too. I think he's got really neat magic. Oh, this manga is called Kai. It's called Ray's Kamika. It's about mythos gods and like war, and there's like the main character is a reincarnation of this Japanese god. I can't remember the name, but they called him like the god of 8,000 spears. And then the main female, she is she's like the reincarnation of Brunheld or I don't know how to pronounce, but the god like a Norse goddess. And they've mentioned a couple other they've mentioned a couple other mythos, like they've mentioned like Egyptian and shit. They've mentioned like Hindu and Celtic. It's pretty cool so far. I like it. There's only like 17 chapters or out something. Yeah, obviously this is the part where they go back to Asgard. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I don't know about that if I agree about that. Time skips can be fun. It's how they do the time skip, and I know it's gonna sound like I've been picky on One Piece this whole stream, but One Piece is how you don't do a time skip because even though they other characters got stronger, they they lost all of the character development they got during the time skip. I mean, Usopp for some reason stopped being brave like he was that he became, and then you got freaking um, Nami just went back to being irrelevant as fuck. Chopper degraded. He became a mascot. He just became, hey, look, I'm cute, fluffy animal, the mascot character. Aren't I hilarious? Like, obviously, he has some like Chopper, Hawk, but they were always that character. Chopper was like he was like their Hulk. He had a fucking crazy giant monster form that was like intimidating and really powerful. And I don't know why would they switch out of it? Like it was such a silly thing to do that to Chopper's character. I don't like a lot of current One Piece. I don't like to make it seem like I like to hate on One Piece because some of my subs don't like it. I don't like a lot of One Piece. Like there's still parts I enjoy. There's still aspects that I like. I just don't like where it's at right now, really. But yeah, thanks you guys for coming to the stream. I hope you guys show up for the next one. I've always enjoyed to see people show up, have conversations, talk about whatever. And until the next one, thank you very much for listening. Bye.